Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. Of course, I forgot to put that in the description, or the title, I should say. This is going to be the sequel to the 1998 Jean-Claude Van Damme Bloodsport. This one's called Bloodsport 2: The Last Kumite. The next Kumite, sorry. Man. So this came out 8 years after the original. It got a limited theatrical release before going to video. It's pretty decent. It's got somebody from the first movie, some football player dude. I knew I was gonna forget his name. It'll come to me. Hang on. Donald Gibb, who was in the first movie. He plays like the Kumite trainer, while James Hong is in prison. Pat Morita is also in this. He was in, I think I mentioned he was in American Ninja 5 with David Bradley. But anyways, I thought it was pretty decent. Good fight scenes. And the main guy, Daniel Bernhardt, is in Bloodsport 3. James Hong and Pat Morita are also in Bloodsport 3. So kind of an interesting rotation of actors there. So Daniel Bernhardt is a street fighter dude. He steals a Japanese sword that's worth a lot of money. I guess it's worth $1 million. Which is a lot of dough back in 1996. Nowadays, it won't last very long here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Especially if you want to buy a house or something. But nonetheless, rents are going down here. The economy's still in lockdown mode thanks to Governor Gruesome, Mussolini, whatever you want to call him. Looks like Trump's going to get the landslide electoral college. The state legislatures hand him the electors instead of the fraudulent Secretary of State people. But we'll see how that all plays out next month. It should be interesting. Anyways, getting back to the movie. So after he steals the sword, his partner double crosses him. He ends up in jail with James Hong, who killed some Thai person. It's all filmed in Bangkok, Thailand, by the way. And James Hong had to kill somebody as an act of revenge. I couldn't really follow the exact story. He kind of described it really fast, so forgive me in that respect. But anyways, Danny Bernhardt and James Hong meet in prison. James Hong teaches him the technique of the iron fist, where he can actually blow out a candle with his fist, which is not as impressive as Leroy Green catching bullets with his teeth. But nonetheless, it's a pretty impressive trick. He just goes like this, and then the candle goes out. Pretty cool. And so that's the iron fist technique of James Hong. James Hong even gets involved in some prison fights. He's pretty decent for a Chinese grandpa. But anyways, the beginning was a little confusing to me. I had to go back and read the synopsis to kind of get a feel of what was happening. But he meets this white lady, and she's like flirting with him, wanting to go to dinner with him, and the double cross occurs right when they're about to meet for dinner. This is before he goes to prison for stealing the sword, and not sure what Japanese sword has to do with kickboxing, but okay. Still, great flick, in my opinion. It doesn't have the death match of the first movie. You know, the craziness of the Jean-Claude Van Damme original. But still, very impressive. The long-anticipated Bloodsport 2, the next Kumite. I said I was going to review this around Thanksgiving, and it's Sunday of Thanksgiving week, so I kind of got caught up in the Ten Commandments, all the I don't know, it just took forever to finish, but man, the old lady's upstairs, her family was here, her daughter and her son-in-law were here for Thanksgiving. They kept asking me about the mouse traps that they bought. I haven't set up yet, but I did set 4 mouse traps that the other lady bought, and I think the mouse actually triggered the spring, but got away. So clever mouse. Anyways, I don't think he's going to be attending catechism next year because they're wanting him to wear a mask, and I think we're supposed to be locked up indoors anyway, according to that Darth Vader judge. What he was saying in court, it didn't actually match the court order, though. So I'm a little confused. I don't want to go back there to confront the guy about it, because that'll just make him even more upset and angry at me. So best to avoid that kind of guy. I'm looking at Bloodsport 3. Alex Cardo must battle in a fight to end all fights. Not only... Oh, by the way, this one gets pretty mediocre, 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Only 2,836 ratings. If I type up Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Donald Gibb, it gets a 6.8 out of 10 with 76,006 ratings. Whoever they chose for the sequel, he wasn't quite as dynamic as the Jean-Claude Van Damme death matches that I mentioned in the original one that I saw, which was also a great flick. I like the relationship between James Hong and the Daniel dude. James Hong is telling the entire story as sort of a flashback to his children, kickboxing students, and so he talks about mixing the bad with the good. He's into a lot of Eastern mysticism. I don't know how he got a Buddhist temple in his Thai prison, but I guess Buddhism is popular in Thailand. So there's that. And so James Hong talks about the Kumite, the prison guard who keeps torturing him and like causing political battles in the prison. He gets invited to the Kumite, and Daniel says he's gonna get in the Kumite somehow. It's this bare knuckles, bare feet kickboxing tournament in Thailand, and yeah, all these movies are in Thailand. It wouldn't be a kickboxing movie if it wasn't Thailand. So, anyways, so Daniel kind of cleans up his act. He gets released from prison from Pat Morita to go retrieve the sword again, which is kind of odd. I don't know why you would ask a guy who stole your sword to retrieve it back, but I guess he was getting desperate. So he says, "Get back my sword in return for your freedom." So he agrees to do that. He sets up a police trap where he ends up getting sliced with the sword. I didn't see any wounds in the final match. I think he healed himself pretty quick. And, these guys are like kicking themselves in the face, punching the, bare knuckles punches, and not much blood going on in this one, I noticed, but still pretty cool kickboxing stuff. And yeah, so of course the final fight is between the prison guard dude, the Thai prison guard dude, and the Daniel. And oh, my son just joined for like 5 seconds. No? Oh, must have been somebody else from Australia. So the final battle scene is pretty predictable. It's the same formula for every single kickboxing movie out there, but which is not a bad thing. It's a pretty decent fight. It's like a seesaw kind of event, and lots of ring fighting. There's even a female kickboxer. She gets roughed up by the prison guard dude pretty bad, and the Gibbs football player dude is trying to like hit on her, trying to get her to go out to dinner, but he looks like a big hillbilly kind of a bar brawler dude. He was in the first Bloodsport, and she doesn't want anything to do with him until he starts punching, going after the prison guard dude after he won against her, and all of a sudden they got some kind of romantic thing going. So Daniel gets the sword back. And as a reward, Pat Morita releases James Hong from prison. I don't know what kind of influence he has over the Thai authorities, but probably involves some money. And pretty definitely one of the better kickboxing movies, this one. I'm looking forward to Bloodsport 3. I'm going to watch that next. So wish me luck. And sorry to take so long to get through all these Netflix DVDs. The 10 Commandments and the Thirsty Dead. But I finally did it. Took some energy drink this morning. I think I worked 27 and a half hours in 3 days. So pretty intense. But today's my rest day. I couldn't take a nap just now. So I just finished up. I think I'm gonna have my dinner, have an early dinner, like I normally do on Sundays. Some of these leftover potatoes, turkey, gravy, and butter combination, and start watching Bloodsport 3. Maybe take a little nap, finish up Bloodsport 3, and then what do I have after that? Let's see. I forgot. Okay. I've got There Goes the Neighborhood, which is a Black Devil doll television show, kind of sanitized, and Black Devil doll from hell. On Netflix, you know I'm in the midst of John Carradine stuff, right? So let me pull that up real quick, give you a quick snapshot. Got so much leftover potatoes, gravy, stuff like that. I'll be eating that for a while. It's from the Thanksgiving debacle. I finally figured out what happened. There was an outage there on Tuesday, and the CEO started freaking out at all these angry customers. He took responsibility, and he's giving them all this free stuff, try to win them back. But there's another snag in the road towards them going public, I guess. Hopefully they can do it next year, but we'll see what happens. I think a lot of customers kind of put up with the lockdown mess from early March, so we'll see how it plays out. But I've got 1975 Dolomite, which is another Adrian recommendation. Then I've got Queen of the Desert, which looks like a really bad Werner Herzog flick from 2017 about some political hack named Gertrude Bell. It's got Nicole Kidman playing Gertrude Bell. Not looking forward to that. And then Secret of Nim, which is a rated G kids movie with John Carradine playing the voice, I think. It's got Dom DeLuise, John Carradine playing the voices in this kids movie. The Secret of Nim. This is before all the CGI crap from Pixar. And Disney. So, another kids movie, we'll see how that goes. Not looking forward to it, but I got to get through all this John Carradine stuff. I'm trying to be a completist here before I get to like House of Frankenstein, that kind of stuff. So I should be getting that stuff next week, probably Tuesday, I think. Tuesday, Wednesday, around that time. So grab some grub, watch Bloodsport 3, and I'll be back. Laters.